You know, I've been thinking about this. I don't really understand the whole liberal branding that Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland and other idiotic liberal MPs, which I guess if I put it in that sense, all liberal MPs are idiotic. They keep using the word MAGA politics, which obviously they're referring to make America great again politics. The whole Donald Trump movement and all Donald Trump supporters is bleeding into Canada, as if that's something that's inherently bad. Now, I don't say I support or don't support anything or everything that Donald Trump has done. I think that, you know, that America is its own separate entity, but bringing MAGA politics into Canada isn't something that's actually happening. What is happening is Canadians and people around the world are saying, I think you're ruining Canada and something needs to be done. So if that means making Canada great or making Canada great again is somehow equivalent to make America great again, then so be it. MAGA the shit out of this country. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at Chrystia Freeland, who has a bit of a meltdown based off of something that a reporter asked that has something to do with Donald Trump, which you could see why I started off with MAGA politics. But before we get into it, I want to encourage everyone to smash the like button and subscribe. We're on route to 400,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. I want to thank all of you for being a part of the community. And once you're subscribed, if you turn post notifications on, so it actually adds a layer of insurance for you to actually be notified of upcoming videos. Now, YouTube is known for unsubscribing people either manually or through an automated system. So if you resubscribe or you subscribe to begin with and you turn post notifications on, it's kind of like giving YouTube and the government the middle finger, which I know a lot of people like to do. And before we get into the video, though, I also want to give a massive thank you and shout out to today's sponsor. I want to thank today's sponsor, Private Internet Access. We've teamed up together and PIA is willing to offer my audience 83% off by using code SUNSHINE. Now, here in Canada with Justin Trudeau in power, not only is he kind of like a communist dictator, but he's also censoring the internet, which is why you need a VPN to encrypt yourself and be able to bounce around different geolocations to really mask your not only digital footprint, but to mask your identity, because right now it's hard enough as it is to even get the news. That's right. Bill C-18 prevents users, everyday people such as yourself, myself, from accessing simple information that is our freedom of rights to information here in Canada. If you go on Facebook, you currently can't even see Canadian news. It's wild, and who knows what's next. Maybe he's going to ban everything with Google, maybe here on YouTube. So you need to cover yourself and protect yourself with a VPN such as Private Internet Access. And what better way to do that here in Canada than having 83% off? The link for that is down in the description below, as well as the pinned comment. Use code SUNSHINE with Private Internet Access for 83% off. Thank you, Private Internet Access, for sponsoring today's video. Alrighty, so it's not just me and you and everyone and their grandmother that thinks that Justin Trudeau is falling behind in the polls, because I've shown you the polls time and time again that the Liberals are sitting at 1%. It's also the mainstream media. They are flipping the narrative and realizing that Trudeau is a sinking ship. So let's start off with that clip, and then we're going to get into Chrystia Freeland and the whole Donald Trump thing.
There is no good news for the Liberals anywhere in this latest polling from Ipsos, provided exclusively to Global News. The country is tired of Justin Trudeau, tired of his government, and were an election to be held today, Pierre Poilievre's Conservatives would almost certainly win a majority. When the Liberals vaulted from third to first in the 2015 election, it was all because of Justin Trudeau, a leader that Canadians were excited about after nearly 9 years of Stephen Harper. But after 8 years of Justin Trudeau, most Canadians are ready for change again.
They created the party of Justin Trudeau, and they're going to live or die by that. They certainly have lived reasonably well over the space of the last 8 years, but the other conclusion, the other outcome, is the one in which they're defeated because they are the party of Justin Trudeau, and that's where they are today.
72% of respondents said Trudeau should step down now. Even among those who are Liberal supporters, 33% think Trudeau should go.
I've never seen a number that high for a prime minister, probably since Brian Mulroney back in 91, 92, and that's what this really reminds me of.
And because the Liberal brand is now so closely identified with Trudeau, Trudeau's falling popularity has pulled the party down. If an election were held today, 40% would vote Conservative, 24% would vote Liberal, 21% would vote NDP. Among Quebec respondents, 32% picked the Bloc Québécois, 28% would pick the Liberals, and 22% would choose the Conservatives. In Canada's first-past-the-post system, those numbers would add up to a substantial majority for Pierre Poilievre's Conservatives. Trudeau himself knows the numbers do not look good, but Global News can report Trudeau has told close associates he would not be true to himself if he quit as leader, that he is looking forward to taking on Pierre Poilievre in the next election, and with 2 years until that happens, Trudeau believes he has the runway to turn the party's fortunes around. David Akin, Global News.
It's absolutely insane, and this is probably the better option for Canadians. And bear with me, obviously Trudeau staying in is not the better option, but Trudeau's own ego is going to be his biggest downfall, which is probably the best thing that we could ever ask for. Because let's be honest, if Justin Trudeau stood down, and if he handed off the prime minister position to somebody else, which I don't even know if you technically can do, but let's just say in theory, if that happened, let's say he makes Freeland or anybody else the prime minister of Canada, that would increase their chances of being reelected in the next 2025 election. And I'm not saying Freeland or any other Liberal could win the next election, but literally anybody could be better than Justin Trudeau. If I feel like if I ran as prime minister against Justin Trudeau, that I would get a lot of support, like a very high amount of support, not because I'm Mr. Sunshine Baby, but because I'm just somebody different than Justin Trudeau. We could put my dying dog that has cancer up against Justin Trudeau and she would definitely win. So anybody that's going against Trudeau, it's the best possible thing because he's a sinking ship. So if they did a very big strategy change and said, hey man, it's time for you to step down so that the Liberals don't all sink, that would be only to benefit them. But thankfully, Trudeau is an egotistical maniac, so that's never going to happen. He's going to burn the whole thing down, which is A-okay with me. All right, next up we have Chrystia Freeland, who always has a smart felon, or it's not a smart felon, a fart smelling, dyslexic, a fart smelling face on. It always looks like she's sniffing around for a dirty diaper or something like that. Let's take a look at what she has to say here about Donald Trump and MAGA politics.
U.S. presidential candidate Trump suggested that if he becomes president, he will. He invited Russia to attack NATO countries that weren't paying 2% of GDP in military spending. That would include Canada. I just wanted to ask if you fear that the election of Donald Trump would spell the end of NATO.
So I'll say two things. First of all, the core principle of NATO is an attack on one country is an attack on all. That's what makes the alliance so powerful, and that's why that alliance has protected all of us since it was first founded. It's incredibly important to be clear in the world today where we are seeing countries like Russia trampling all over international law, for all NATO allies to be very, very clear that that core principle of Article 5 holds. And Canada is very clear on that. And in fact, as you know, we're leading the battle group Enhanced Forward Presence in Latvia. Beyond that, I'll just say that it's up to the American people to choose their leader. And a core responsibility of any Canadian government is to work effectively and in pursuit and defense of the national interest with whoever the American people choose to lead them. That's something our government has done in the past. It's something that we're doing today. And it's something that we are absolutely prepared to do in the future. And I have just a tremendous amount of confidence in the strengths Canada brings to our position in the world.
Yeah, I've never seen somebody who's able to say so much without ever really saying anything. But nonetheless, I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. What do you think about Chrystia Freeland's statements? Next up, we have Justin Trudeau, who's being questioned about NORAD here.
Canada and the United States are the only two countries in the world in which territorial defense is actually shared between our two countries. It's a testament to the deep friendship and interconnectedness of Canada and the United States for decades now. We have worked together in NORAD to keep North America safe, and quite frankly, Canada has recently stepped up with tens of billions of dollars of investment committed to modernizing NORAD to better suit the challenges the world is facing right now. I was down in Colorado Springs at NORAD headquarters just a few years ago, seeing the extent to which the Canadian and American military are not just integrated, but sharing command in the extraordinarily important element of territorial defense. We are always going to be there to work with our American partners on protecting North America, and I am confident that that is something that is very much in the interest of all Americans as well.
Yeah, you know what is in the best interest of North Americans is putting money into our own defenses instead of funding foreign wars. I don't know anybody that could say that they would rather give money to Ukraine and Palestine and Israel than they would upping our own defenses. But I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. Are you pro Canada and North America growing our economy and our defenses, or do you want to help other countries across the pond with their shit and us continue to suffer? Please enlighten me down in the comments, but I have a feeling I know what everyone is going to say. Next up, we have Pierre Poilievre in the House of Commons. I kind of want to replay his WTF bomb that he dropped on Justin Trudeau over the Arrive scam funds, right?
Prime Minister's Arrive scam is now flailing out of control. Today, revelations from a Joël Denis Bellevance that one ArriveCan company received $250 million in contracts. Let's get this straight. It's a company with 4 employees, headquartered in the basement of a tiny cottage. They got IT contracts even though they admit they do no IT work. $250 million. WTF.
Here, here. Mm-hmm. We are dangerously close to crossing the line in terms of what is considered parliamentary language. That is an abbreviation which is commonly used with language, which is commonly understood not to be parliamentary. I'm going to ask the honourable opposition leader, please, to withdraw that comment and to use parliamentary language, please.
Where's the funds?
In fact, one of my favorite moments of question period. What Mr. Speaker just did by interrupting the flow of everything and going on his little power trip, it's the equivalent of trying to, or it's the equivalent of arresting somebody for a crime they may commit and that they haven't yet already. It's so obviously an abuse of power, and I think everyone's fed up with this new speaker. Talk about ethics violations. Continuing on.
I appreciate that the Leader of the Opposition had clarified that comment. I'm going to ask all members to not use the acronym, because the acronym in the minds of Canadians clearly would be considered unparliamentary language. and to use the full words.
During the time of pandemic, the government rightly did everything it could to keep Canadians safe and keep them protected. But of course, even in the most trying times, perhaps especially in the most trying times, all the rules need to be followed. In this case, the Auditor General has highlighted some very concerning questions that need to be answered, and that's why we're expecting and supporting all relevant authorities to follow up on these irregular contracting and this perhaps breaking of the rules. This is an important issue, and that's why we're taking it seriously, Mr. Speaker.
There you go.
Colleagues,
And that went on for 90 seconds.
in light of the disruption that we had, we are going to take a 2-minute break to allow things to calm down, and then we will come back for the questions and answers.
So let's recap. A company that had never before received contracts from the federal government started getting an avalanche of contracts just 3 weeks after this prime minister took office. The company, in fact, got $250 million for IT, even though it admits it doesn't do IT. It has 4 employees and has a headquarters in the basement of a cottage. Can the prime minister explain why this suspicious company started getting these contracts exactly 21 days after he took office?
Obviously an unacceptable situation, which is why the relevant authorities are fully investigating exactly what went on here, particularly highlighted by the Auditor General's recent report. This is an issue we need to continue to understand and make sure that the rules are being followed, make sure that our procurement practices across government are respectful of taxpayer money.
He somehow found $250 million for this one company, which boasts on its website that it is now Ottawa's fastest growing company. No doubt about that when they're having their faces stuffed with tax dollars by this prime minister. Why is it that when Canadians are starving in food bank lines, the Prime Minister finds $250 million for his friends?
Obviously,
It must be nice to be a friend with the Liberals, eh?
To the bottom of exactly how this unacceptable situation happened. In the meantime, on this side of the House, we're going to continue to focus on making life more affordable for Canadians.
Yeah, I doubt that. Not one single person in the world truly believes what Justin Trudeau is looking out for the best interest of Canadians, which is why, I mean, we're not going to do a deep dive into this. I've already done a video which got like over 200,000 views on the first day. Justin Trudeau and Freeland are being personally sued for wrongfully invoking the Emergencies Act. This almost has 2 million views on X. So big stuff happening to Freeland and Justin Trudeau, and you're going to start to see them panic. They're going to start to slip up, especially when they have press conferences, especially in the House of Commons when they are personally being pressed by Pierre Poilievre and the entire Conservative Party live on national broadcast, but never mind the national broadcast, live on House of Canada, my second YouTube channel, which is linked down in the description. That's where we're going to end today's video, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I'd really encourage you guys, if you haven't yet, to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet already, as well as you know it's coming. Turn post notifications on. It does help you actually be notified of upcoming videos. And yeah, thank you so much for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.